crime without being disrupted by ICE officials. Okay, that is the bottom line there. Now, let's go to another huge update that comes in the form of an interview. And this is where I spent a lot of time, and it's something that needs to be addressed. And we're talking about these vaccine injured American citizens. Number one, RFK Jr. has already come out and said that he's going to make sure that these people are compensated. There is a fund from the federal government to compensate people who've been vaccine injured. They haven't been able to get paid. He's doing something about it. And of course, my main reason for showing you and bringing this up first is because we have a clip to show you here where even CDC is being exposed for admitting in their own data that the effectiveness of particularly the COVID vaccine is kind of slim to none. It wasn't as effective as they told us, which led to people being injured, and they need to be compensated. Let's take a look at that clip now.
After a while, the CDC's own research showed that the protection from the vaccine, if any, was between months 2 and 6. And by 6 months, it showed negative efficacy. So I'm watching the hearings on my, computer screen at home. I'm yelling at the screen. The COVID shots have negative efficacy after 6 months. Tell me how a shot with negative efficacy is saving lives and it has the worst side effect profile of any vaccine in human history. So how exactly is a vaccine with the worst side effects and negative efficacy saving lives? That's a preposterous claim. What ended the COVID pandemic was the Omicron variant that was more transmissible but less lethal.
Oh, that just makes you upset because they continue to lie about it. I mean, think about why the people in the CDC had to resign ultimately, right? And they walked out recently. It's because they continue to fight RFK Jr. on these core principles of transparency. Now, speaking of transparency, here is a gentleman, his wife, by the name of Virginia Lowe. I mean, this story will just break your heart, okay? When you're talking about people who have been injured by these vaccines, I think this story really sums it up. Take a listen.
My name is Virginia Lowe, and I have travelled here from Oma along with my husband to share his vaccine story. Larry's condition makes it very, very painful to speak for long periods of time, so I'm his voice today. I don't actually know how long he's able to stay here. He's sitting in the front row, taking multiple attacks as I speak. He's shaking, stimming with the pain to try and keep it under control. Prior to December 2021, my husband Larry was a healthy, active man with no health concerns or underlying conditions. He was a college lecturer and a successful musician, but that was all taken away from him on the 15th of December 2021. That was the day he received a COVID Pfizer booster injection in Oma Leisure Centre. Within 2 days of this, he complained about unusual painful facial numbness with further pain in his teeth and his gums. This was only the start of his onset neurological journey.
Guys, I mean, I don't know what to say to that. It's just something that really breaks your heart because this doesn't have to happen. And it's almost as if Democrats just tolerate this, right? They allow it to happen, which is really disturbing. Now, what I want to do is bring on a health and wellness expert here to discuss this topic with me. She's the founder of Brightcore, Kim Bright.
That clip is so horrible. I mean, that just breaks your heart. And the thing about it is that gentleman, after 3.5 years, he has those electrical currents that just shock him all the time. Hasn't had sleep in 3.5 years. He can't even go anywhere or talk because if he moves, he has these electrical shots. So it's awful. But, I am happy to hear the news about RFK opening up the vaccine injury fund to families with autism. And, can you even believe that such a thing exists? I mean, this came into being in 1986 with Congress passed an act when Reagan was in, and $4.5 billion are there to compensate victims of vaccine injury. So that definitely tells you things are wrong. And I really want people to know out there that a lot of people that know about this, they think, I have to have severe case of this to apply. No, even if you have minor injury, you can apply, and make sure you get a attorney, because those costs are covered too. So look into this. Anybody out there that's been injured, whether it's minor or major, people need to know too, is this doesn't just happen to people that are middle-aged or older, like Larry. There's a story about an 18-year-old girl too, in Oklahoma, and this is awful as well.
Okay, yeah, let's go to that clip now. This is a 18-year-old girl with a similar story.
She was just a really funny girl, and she worked really hard. She was a little spitfire. She was not really afraid of anyone or anything.
Trista was a beautiful, beautiful girl, more full of life and joy.
3 signs you need compression socks. Number 1, your legs feel tired and heavy at the end of the day. Not just tired, I'm talking dragging your feet to the truck tired. Poor circulation.
And joy than anybody I've ever known.
That's how Taylor and Alan Martin describe their daughter Trista. She graduated from Broken Arrow High School in 2022. That summer, she was promoted to a management position at a local Brahms. She walked her dogs and worked out with her older sister. She had plans to go to college and had a heart for helping others.
After she passed, we found a bucket list that she had made when she was 16.
Yeah, adopt a teenager. Number 28. Number 29, be a foster parent. Number 27, be a mother.
That one gets me a gut punch.
Dreams that will never come true. Trista died November 9th, 2022, 12 days after her parents believed she got her second COVID vaccine. They found her vaccination card from her first appointment in her purse. It shows she received the first Pfizer shot July 20th of that year. Her parents had no idea.
There's so many stories like this, right? She's the one that makes it to the news, of course. But I mean, imagine how many people that happened to, and we still haven't even heard about it.
Exactly. And it's so easy to see the connection, because she died 12 days after she got that second shot. But the sad thing is, because she turned 18, she wanted to take her own health into her hands. And she didn't even ask her parents about it or talk to them about it. And so they're finding out that she took the COVID shots after she's dead from a friend of hers. This is so awful. I mean, there's so many cases where the correlation isn't as clear as this is. And also, there's a lot of mysterious deaths that are happening out there, Devory, months, sometimes even years after vaccinations. And it's hard to pull it back, and identify. It's evil. It's very evil what's happened.
So the bottom line is they want a sicker America so they can make more money. It's really disgusting when you hear it that way. Okay, so let's go to this next clip. This is about myocarditis, which is what I said. There was a term for what's happening here, in my opinion. It's probably the most common underlying issue, and how all of a sudden these people, they pass away out of the blue. And I think this is part of the reason why.
A groundbreaking new study sounding alarms about the safety of COVID mRNA vaccines, directly challenging claims from public health officials and raising urgent questions about transparency and trust. So using hard data from disease trends, from patient outcomes and immune system analysis, multiple research reports show that heart inflammation risks tied to the vaccines may be far greater and maybe even more dangerous than previously reported, particularly among young men.
Yeah, and myocarditis, that's inflammation. And most people that are at risk aren't always older, as we see here. Everybody's at risk, any age. And they changed the vaccine warning labels in the black box. They were forced to, because of all the data coming out, to now include from 16 to 24-year-olds. And I think the range is even wider than that, because there's a ton of incidents being misreported or underreported, Devory. It's just unbelievable.
Obviously, the results show that is leading to some fatal outcomes, unfortunately. And when you're talking about young people, I mean, it just doesn't. They're fine, and then they take it, and then they're not fine. I mean, and I think this is a great example of what could happen to a person if they buy into everything that the government is telling them to do.
Dr. Scott, were you aware that worldwide on VAERS we've reported 38,742 deaths worldwide associated with the COVID vaccine? Were you aware of that carnage?
I'm not aware of that figure in particular, no.
In America, I believe the number 19,000, correct? Again,
but VAERS does not prove causality.
oh, I've heard that time and time again. So let's take a look at the bottom figure down here. Of those 38,000 deaths, 9,252, 23.9%, it's called 24%, occurred on the day of vaccination or within 1 or 2 days. Now, I know that doesn't prove causation, but man, that's a correlation that we ought to look at.
Yeah, it's almost as if they are just trained not to acknowledge reality. I mean, how do you look at those numbers and not think something is going on? And hold on, before you say what you're going to say, Kim, did you see the number on Tylenol, given what was announced?
Yeah, I did. I mean, but here's the thing. That's VAERS. That's the reporting. The doctors are supposed to report instances to VAERS.
Yes, Rocket Money cancels subscriptions, but it also gives you total control over your finances.
Wait, how?
So do you ever feel like you have no idea?
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, we're going to talk again about a real-life scenario and how it can help educate us. The real-life scenario is this one.